In today's video, I'm going to share with you my plan to move back to Spain this year in 2026. The last 2 years, I lived in Spain as a language assistant in Sevilla and San Sebastian. My experience was amazing. I have spent the whole 2 years there teaching English in public schools, in elementary, high school, and I even au paired during the summer in Santander, where I met an amazing Spanish family and I spent the last 2 summers with them. You can say my experience was life-changing, so much to the point that I'm looking for a permanent way to stay in Spain. As a language assistant, you can only be a language assistant for 5 years and then your visa is revoked. You can no longer be a language assistant. After year 2, I was thinking, I think I'm ready for a more permanent option. Another thing is, my mom was born in Mexico, which makes me Mexican-American, which gives me the access to a Mexican passport. I guess I have the benefit of being able to live in Spain after 2 years of living there on like a work visa. A student visa does not count. And I thoroughly enjoyed my experience as a language assistant, but it's just not a sustainable career. You make about 800 to 1,000 euros per month. So you make just enough to live, but not enough to save. And when I first moved to Spain in 2023, I had about 16,000 US dollars saved. This allowed me the luxury to travel, to splurge a little bit, to shop, and just really enjoy my experience there. But as year 2 came along, my savings began to dwindle and I was like, okay, I need something more sustainable because being a language assistant was not giving me that. The funny thing is, actually, before I moved to Spain, my plan was to move to Germany because the price of getting your master's in Germany and in Europe in general is substantially less than getting it in the United States. So I studied international business here in the States. And if I were to get my master's degree in the States, on average, it's about $31,000 per year. So about $62,000 to get your master's degree, like MBA in the United States. It's typically a 2-year program to complete this. Honestly, when I graduated college, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to pay for this unless a job sponsors me to get my master's. Something I've always wanted to do. I am a first-generation college student in my family. I thought I wanted to take it one step further and get a master's degree. Like, I just feel like that would be just such a great accomplishment, not only me, but for like past generations of my family, you know? It's got a strong meaning to me. And when I found out in Germany how much less it was to get your master's there, basically 5,000 to 20,000 euros annually in Germany to do this, I thought, wow, this is a possibility for me. It was no longer this big scary thing that I couldn't see myself doing. But of course, I graduated college and decided to move to Spain and teach English. This was just personal reasons, not being ready to study right after getting my bachelor's degree, right? I needed a break. And the best thing happened when I was in Spain. Like, I just fell in love and it was like, wow, this wasn't even on my like radar to like move to, honestly. And it just opened my eyes to like a new way of living, a new way of being. And it's what I'm working towards to get back to now. So I started to research master's programs in Spain. On average, they're about 1,000 to 15,000 euros per year. And in Spain, a master's program in business is typically a 1-year program. So I thought, even better. I did travel to Germany when I was in Spain and I did love it, but I don't know, something about Spain just keeps calling me back. I'm sure if you've been to Spain or if you're watching my videos, you understand. The reason why Spain also became my plan, my friend had talked to a lawyer on options to stay in the country longer term in Spain because she was also a language assistant. And he said, honestly, the #1 way to do it is 1, get sponsored by work, right? But that's not always the easiest path because you have to find a company that will sponsor you to move to Spain. Or 2, complete your master's in Spain and that will grant you access to get work in the field that you've studied and therefore being able to stay longer term. As soon as I heard that, I was like, boom, that was already my plan all along before I set out to move to Spain, was to get my master's in Germany, right? So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna get my master's in Spain. Since last year, I began to research master's programs in Spain, looking them up, the differences, which ones appeal to me, and I applied to 4 programs this year. So boom, there became my plan. I finished my last summer as an au pair in Santander, and I moved back to the States where I began my goal and my plan to move back to Spain and to stay longer term. So my action plan, right, is get a job and save as much money as I can, apply, get accepted, visa application, sell all my things, and move back to Spain. that's my plan. And so far, things are going to plan. I have my savings going. I have had a job during this time. I've applied to 2 programs, and there's still 2 more to apply to in March. Just waiting on those. I did get accepted into Granada, so I'm super happy about that. It's an unreal feeling to get like an acceptance into something that you've waited so long for. Especially moving back to the States has been really difficult. A lot of things happen that I didn't plan on happening, and it wasn't as smooth of a transition that I thought it was going to be. And so getting that acceptance was like, okay, it's all happening for a reason. It's worth it. Everything's working out, right? Sometimes life does that to us. We don't understand what's happening, and then all of a sudden we get good news of what we've been waiting for, and it's just like the best thing ever. That's my plan, to move back to Spain this year and to stay longer term. I love the country. I can't wait to be back. Luckily, I mean, I've been able to enjoy my time here in the States while I am here. I have family here. My cats are here. There's beautiful places like this. I'm on the Oregon coast. I mean, this is unreal. That's my action plan to move back to Spain. And if you want to plan to move to Spain where you're there longer term, or you were like me as a language assistant looking to stay longer term, definitely look into getting a master's program. I think it's a great way to extend a stay. Not only are you getting more qualified in your field of study, but you're also getting the chance and the opportunity to live in such an amazing, beautiful country, whether that be Spain, whether that be Germany, whether that be anywhere else in Europe. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I can't wait. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.